Thank you. And then you can go back to playing. I love you so much. So, tell me, what did you do that was so much fun for Christmas?
Play with toys.
What toys did you get?
Baxter.
Baxter, isn't that your toy? What toys did you get?
Baxter's.
Did you get Paw Patrol? What kind of Paw Patrol did you get?
Oh, the Paw Patrol, big.
All of the characters?
Yeah.
Did you get the recycle truck? Did you get anything else that was Paw Patrol at Numa's?
No.
What else did you get at Numa's house for toys?
There was no presents.
That is not true. You just told me that you unwrapped presents on Christmas Eve. What did you do on Christmas Eve? Tell the truth.
Presents.
What presents did you unwrap? Which ones did you get? Did you get Lincoln Logs?
No.
Those were already there.
Not at my house.
Did you get Play-Doh?
No. I did get Play-Doh.
What else did you get? Did you get puzzles?
Yeah.
Do you love puzzles?
Yeah.
They're so fun. Your mommy loved puzzles when she was little.
But I got Spy Puzzle.
Spidey puzzle? How fun!
It's little.
What did Lulu get you that was a special present that you have to turn like this to make some music? Music box?
Music box.
What does it play?
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, do you love that?
He's a really happy snow. In the children's head, don't cry.
He could laugh and play just the same as you and me. Frosty the Snowman.
He's a really happy snow.
With a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. What are we going to have at Numa's today?
Have dinner.
Pizza!
Yummy pizza.
How are we going to go see your mommy and daddy? Let's see how it works. Come here. Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
We will drive this way. And mommy and daddy will drive this way. And we'll meet in the middle and have pizza at Numa's. And then you will drive home that way. And we will drive home that way.
Yeah.
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 Numa's a smart lady. She moved to a good place, didn't she?
Yeah. My house?
She didn't move to your house. She moved in the middle. All right. About ready to take a bath?
No.
Go play for a few minutes and then it'll be bath time. Okay? So I wanted today to make a video about Christmas Eve, but Christmas Eve turned out like really different than it was supposed to turn out. How many of you have friends or family members that were part of the Southwest debacle? If you know, then you know. So our daughter, who has been going to school in Colorado, she was supposed to come home for a very quick trip because she's working a job that they really need her over the holidays. She works on a phone center and she helps people that like need prayer and, you know, people that might be depressed over the holidays or need extra help. It's not really a time when they can take a lot of extra time off. So we purchased a plane ticket for her to come home on Christmas Eve. And then she was supposed to go back on Wednesday, which is the 27th. Yeah. Wait, the 28th. She was supposed to go back on Wednesday, the 28th. And her flight was completely canceled. But she was not the only one. There were thousands of customers that were affected by this. And apparently, from what we have been reading in the news and on social media, there was a problem with their computer system. And it wasn't that they didn't have enough flight attendants or pilots or anything like that to cover the shifts. It's that their computer system was not keeping track of where their people were. So they didn't realize like where everyone was and they couldn't assign everyone to a spot. So literally they had pilots and flight attendants waiting around to take people on these flights, and they had no way to assign people to different flights. So it was completely pointless that it happened. Like, I'm sorry, Southwest, you can do better. Not only that, but our daughter was supposed to go back on the 28th. The earliest free flight that they were offering her was January the 4th. January the 4th. Like, who does that? You know? So our family had to pay $200 to get our daughter back on the 1st so she could go back to work next week. And she's going back late. So she's missing a few days of pay. And we had to pay $200 to get her to go back home. Like, I'm really disappointed in Southwest. Although, all in all, I have to say that I'm a fan of Southwest. Like, they have always treated us well. We have had good experiences with Southwest. In fact, we have had a lot more problems with like Delta and JetBlue and United than we have with Southwest Airlines. Like, our flight that we took to Africa that got canceled, it was with Delta. And overall, like, I felt like the customer service on Southwest has always been a lot better. Like, the flight attendants are just really like cheerful, and they kind of like try to make it like entertaining while you're on there. They even like crack jokes during the pre-flight details, and the pilots are like really friendly and just amiable and everything. It's always been a really good experience with them. It's nothing to do with the cruise. It's everything to do with the management and the computer systems, the technology that they're using to, like human resources types of things that it has to do with. So anyway, needless to say, not only did that happen to us, but on the way here, and this is how my Christmas Eve ended up being like, I wouldn't say messed up because, Christmas Eve is Christmas Eve and we still enjoyed it, but it wasn't what we had planned. We were supposed to pick our daughter up at the airport in Norfolk at 6:20 p.m. and she didn't end up arriving until 12:20 p.m. because there was a flight attendant that, due to similar technology issues, they didn't realize that she had reached her max hours. And so they discovered this and they had to send her away and could not use her on the flight. So they were down a flight attendant on Christmas Eve, trying to find someone on a holiday to cover a shift, and they're having difficulty tracking people with their computer technology. So the flight kept getting delayed an hour and then another hour and then another hour. Well, we live like 2.5 hours away from the airport. So technically, whenever Ainsley took off, her flight was around 2.5 to 3 hours. So we should be able to basically leave at the same time that she was getting on the plane. But we ended up just finally going out there because we didn't want it to end up being something where all of a sudden she was there and waiting and we weren't there. Especially, she's a single, beautiful girl in her 20s waiting alone in an airport. Like, she can handle herself, but I just didn't want to put her in that position. So we went ahead and went out and waited around for like 2 hours. And she finally arrived at 12:20. So Christmas Eve this year was just very like non-traditional. We've had to kind of revamp our Christmas Eve over the last couple of years because we became empty nesters. And one of the things that we have typically done is we used to go to Christmas Eve services all the time. But we started going to a new church that's close by. And our church ended up not having a Christmas Eve service in person this year. They ended up having it online. And normally we try to be with family on Christmas Eve anyway. But with everything going on, with us having to be out there, we thought we were not going to be able to make a service. As it turned out, we could have made a service because the services that our kids would have gone to were at like 4:30 and like 6 or something like that. So we could have gone with Katie and Tucker, but we didn't know that. And so we ended up not going to service at all this year. And we do have another tradition that we have started since we've been empty nesters, which is eating like Chinese food or Japanese food on Christmas Eve, which I really love because I don't eat it all the time. It's not really that healthy for you, but it's kind of a splurge on Christmas Eve. And it's one of those things that's always open on Christmas Eve late. So in the past, we've like gone to service at the beach with the kids. And then on the way back, like everything's closed down and it's just Christmas lights all the way home. And then, it's like this bright light, the Chinese place is open. So we would go to this little Chinese place on the way home in Columbia. But this year we were on our way to pick up our daughter at the airport. So we stopped in Elizabeth City and we ate at Volcano, which is a Japanese like hibachi type restaurant. They have other food too. And so we got hibachi chicken and hibachi, I think Joe got hibachi steak. And we hung out and enjoyed our time and just took our time, having a relaxing meal and waiting. And then heard her final information for her flight, which was going to be in at like 12:20. And we decided to go ahead and head that way in case anything changed. And they got there a little bit earlier. And then we took a nap in the airport. That's what we did. We laid down with all of our stuff around us and laid on one of the benches and went to sleep for like at least an hour and then waited for her. But it was really nice. I don't have any pictures of picking her up because, you know, I was in the moment, immersing myself in the moment, but I was hoping to spend some time with her when we got back to the house in the evening, like having Christmas Eve together, which, you know, she hasn't lived at our house for a couple of years. So I thought, oh, that would be really sweet, you know. But as it ended up, Ainsley and I had a lot to catch up on. And so we stayed up and we talked for like 3 hours, which was wonderful. So I had a great Christmas Eve, but it definitely was non-traditional and it wasn't anything like what I was planning on. But that's just how it goes some years. You know, I've spent a Christmas Eve in the hospital when Joe was getting his heart surgery, and I much prefer, you know, waiting at an airport than waiting in a hospital any day. It was interesting, like people watching and things like that. So, and, you know, she was safe the whole entire time. She was never, you know, at risk of anything. There was never a plane issue. So I'm grateful and thankful that, you know, the weather was decent and there wasn't any problem with ice, you know, or anything like that with the plane. But still, Southwest can do better than that. So right now I'm working on cleaning up a little bit. I'm going to give Grayson a bath and then we are headed to drop him off with his parents. We're going to meet in the middle at his other grandma's house, which we call Numa. That's her grandma name. And we're going to have a little family pizza party and then head on back to our house. And because I have to go back to work on Monday. Yay. I'm actually really ready to go back. I'm ready to start digging into my classroom. I went there yesterday and it was a disaster. And I definitely need to like go through all of the like pre-Christmas stuff and reorganize and just spend some time getting ready for my plans. The first week back is going to be like kind of chill. I'm going to do some assessing of where the students are at, what they've learned since I've been gone. And we're going to reorganize ourselves and get back into, you know, procedures and routines that they have kind of been slacking on since they've had a sub for so long. So I don't have a ton of planning to do. I have a little of planning to do. I mainly have organizing to do and getting back into the swing of things. So that's going to be the topic of my videos over the next week or so. But I have 2 more days of Vlogmas. And when we go back on Monday, I'll be back into my normal uploads, which will be Thursdays for teaching tips and Sundays for more of a vlog style days in my life video. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having Vlogmas over. Vlogmas is always a lot of fun, but you get to a point where you're just like, oh my gosh, towards the end. And I'm really proud of myself because I've pretty well kept up with it this year. I do have a video that's hanging out there, and that's because we had Asha Waterhouse in Boston follow us and do some videography for like a memory video for us of our vacation, like a documentary. So he's doing that. He's editing it. And when it comes in, then that will be my Vlogmas Day 12 that I kind of skipped over. So I'm going to go back and add that in after the fact whenever I receive it from him, which should be coming like pretty soon towards the beginning of the year. We really enjoyed working with him. He made things like a lot of fun and just relaxed and didn't force anything. Like it felt natural. And even Joe said like that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. So looking forward to getting that video and seeing what he did with it. So I found these cute Valentine's outfits I had sitting around in my closet that I got for a baby gift for someone. And literally, I got this like 2 years ago when I was working at Carter's. And then I forgot all about them. And they are so adorable. And so they're the perfect size for Alba. So I'm going to give them to Katie. She's even got a little spring dress in here that she can wear. See, so it pays to like clean out your closet. What are you all doing in the first few days of the new year? Are you starting to get your house in order? I always like to get my house in order when we go back to school, and it'll probably take me like not just this weekend, but I'll be working on it the whole month of January. But it's kind of nice because it's something like that just freshens up the house and gives you like new motivation for the new year. And I don't mind doing it like when we're stuck inside when it's cold during the wintertime. It's kind of nice to work on the house. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to some other projects that I'm going to do in the kitchen to get my kitchen theme going more. And yeah, should be a lot of fun. So go ahead and let you go because I'm going to get Grayson into the bathtub and get him dressed so that we can head on out to make the exchange with his parents. Hello, today is January the 1st, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. I am just back from church and I'm sitting here working on dicing up some apple because I'm going to make this apple spice beer bread from Pampered Chef that I got in my order in December. And I'm making a casserole for Joe and I, and I'm making a double casserole for another family that had a baby recently. So people in the church are taking them meals. So I'm excited to be starting off my new year kind of doing something to help someone else. I think it's easy to get sort of like bogged down and stressed out about having to put away the decorations, and you know, this is a time of year that can be depressing for some people, like right after everybody goes home, Christmas is over, all the festivities are over, and it can get to be like just a depressing time of year. So I'm happy to have an opportunity to do something today to help someone else. It's a good way to start off the new year. So we had a good message this morning at service. The pastor was talking basically about caring for other people that are going through difficult situations instead of judging others, and talking about refraining from gossip and things like that, because sometimes, you know, it's like, I think especially like in the wintertime, there's not that much going on, and people want entertainment, right? So when they hear something that's going on that's interesting or sensational or whatever, the tendency can be for people to be like, oh my gosh, and want to talk about it more instead of feeling like sad for that person that they're having a hard time or that's happening to them or whatever it's about. So it's a good message today. You know, there's another scripture and I can't remember the reference. I will look it up and put it in the description, but it talks about, you know, how as Christians we're supposed to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. So taking other people's like perspective into consideration is important and shows that we're growing as Christians when that's our response initially, instead of like wanting to spread, you know, the news of whatever's happening to someone that might be not great in their life that they wouldn't want shared with just anybody. So yeah, that was the message this morning. And a lot of times after service, we will go somewhere for a lunch with a friend, but we are just going to be having a low spend month this month. And I think we might even have like a low spend year in 2023 because there's some medical things that I want to pay off and some little credit card things that have sort of just been revolving. They're not like large, but they're just revolving. So it would be good for us to at least take some months and really like work on that and get ourselves in a good financial position. So yeah, so we're not going out to eat today, at least. I'm not saying we will never go out to eat while we're on this journey to, you know, pay down things. But today I'm making these casseroles, I'm making bread. I think I'm going to turn this like, apple bread into like a, maybe muffins, I'm thinking, to make it easy because they have kids. And I'm not putting beer in it, obviously, speaking of, since it's called beer bread. Basically, you just need something carbonated. So you can use a beer or you can use something else that's carbonated. So I'm just going to add, since I'm adding apples to it, I'm going to add this raspberry LaCroix because I think those flavors will go well together, apple and raspberry. I don't know how much it will be like actually tasted in the batter, but if it is tasted at all, I want the flavors to go together well. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to do that. It's actually been nice the last couple of days. I've had an opportunity to kind of like start cleaning up and straightening up some things around the house since I'm going back to work. Tomorrow will be my first day back, but there won't be any students there until Tuesday. So that's a really nice way for me to ease my way back in. I'm going to be trying to get a few things done around here today, but I got my bedroom like mostly cleaned up. I do need to do some dusting in there and some sweeping, but I got a lot of things out of my closet that I'm not using and put them in my donations like box. So they're in the back of the car ready to donate, and put away a lot of things that I had out since our trip and I'd never gotten around to because I was worried about getting ready for Christmas. I need to do some laundry. I need to take care of the laundry that's in the laundry room right now, and I'm going to organize my refrigerator today so that I can easily see what I have and use up the things that I have before they go bad, so that I don't waste anything. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. And then depending on what time it is when I finish with the fridge, I'm hoping to make a little trip to the school and spend a couple of hours of straightening in there and just kind of like set myself up for success tomorrow, because I don't want to go in there and just, I know my room is a disaster right now and I don't want to like go in there tomorrow and not get anything done because I'm just so overwhelmed. So my goal in going in today is just sort of like to get everything in categories so that I can work on specific tasks and set myself a to-do list so that tomorrow when I go in, I'll be efficient. So that's what I am doing today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, finish mixing up this bread, and I'll check back in with you later. Also, I just wanted to show you this outfit that I got. This is for my Nuuly order. I am in love with this sweater. It is such a soft, cozy material. And it's like a sweater, but it's, at the same time, it's sort of lightweight. And I love the little extra pop with the yellow. And then these are Ponte pants that I got. I can't remember the brand. I will link it in the description. But they're super comfy. They have like these pockets. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. They have these pockets right here. They're just like super comfy and they fit like really nice. They're just not too tight, but at the same time, they're like nice and stretchy and form-fitting. So really am loving them. If I was to buy something, like I can see myself buying these two pieces because they would go with like a lot of different things. And I just love this. It has sort of a Fair Isle feel, but it's not. It's just a geometric, but this top like is sort of like that same idea. And that's really in right now. So anyway, I think I'm going to change because I don't want to get anything on this while I'm cooking.